Howdy, comrades, I'm Voxel, and today I'm greeting you from the top of a mushroom for a very special reason. Yesterday was Wednesday, and that means new Minecraft snapshot. 20W21A, part of the 1.16 snapshot releases, and in this snapshot, they have begun reintroducing custom worlds to the game. Now, the new customization features center around the addition of custom biomes, which first appeared in this year's April Fool's snapshot, 20W14 Infinite. Now, being the sort of person I am, immediately I decided to make a rainbow dimension. You see, we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. This dimension right here uses the checkerboard generation pattern, which was introduced in this snapshot, along with overworld style terrain. The checkerboard generation gives about a 4x4 area for each biome and lines them up diagonally just like this. The dimensions that I entered were Badlands Plateau, Badlands, Desert, Forest, Ocean, and Mushroom Fields. You can see it just continues to repeat that along a diagonal pattern. Biomes function as normal. You see here in this desert we have a desert well. In this forest patch here we have a ravine. This mesa over here has the normal mesa mine shafts in it. So the biomes do function as they would normally in a normal Minecraft dimension. However, in this custom dimension I've created, the shape in which they generate and the order and which biomes are allowed to generate have been modified. I would like to say, though, that it feels to me like with a lot of updates, a lot of things, a lot of features that have been introduced to the game, it feels modded at first. It doesn't feel Minecrafty. It takes a little bit for it to feel like it belongs in the game. But it doesn't feel like that here. It feels like this generation here feels like it's always been in the game. You get what I'm saying? Not with the custom JSON files that are used to generate it, but just sort of like the ability to just make a weird world that makes no sense. It feels very Minecrafty. It feels like it's always been part of the game, right? The game has always had things in it that just make no sense, and this is just another one of them. It's just really cool. There's a lot of other options for terrain generation. This is just the checkerboard pattern. There's also regular overworld style generation, where the biomes that you have selected, they just generate kind of normally. And then there's some kind of a nether style generation that I couldn't quite get to work. I don't remember exactly what his name is, but it essentially is a sort of a three-dimensional generation, like it's supposed to happen in the nether. I don't know if it's incompatible with it or what, but I tried to get that generation style to work with floating islands as a world type, and it just didn't work. It only generated one of the biomes I selected. So I'm gonna have to mess with that a bit more. I don't know why that's like that. And then there's fixed, which is just one biome. That would be like a flat world or a buffet world, which, by the way, are no longer available. Buffet worlds have been removed in favor of these more customizable kinds of things. And this dimension here, I got from a generator that I found online. This generator works pretty well. It generates valid JSON files. It appears to be missing a couple of available settings, but it seems to work just fine. I'll put a link to it on screen. So I just used that and selected the biomes and selected checkerboard. So I'm going to play around with that generator a little bit more, and we can take a look at a few different dimensions. So our first world here is just another checkerboard pattern. I just wanted to play around with that a little bit more. This time we only have two different biomes. We have snowy mountains here, and we have a frozen river here. Honestly, there's not much to see in this one. It's just kind of snowy. It's just cold. And sad. Oh, it's not that sad. I found a couple interesting things. Like just these random holes in the ice. It's just holes in the ice. And this ravine here. And there's this other river here that... Sorry, ravine here. That also stops right at the edge of the biome. Which I find that to be interesting. Not much else to speak of here. We've got a couple trees. Don't see any animals spawning. I think could have sworn rabbits spawned in Snowy Mountains, but I don't even see those. I don't know. Let's take a look at the next biome. So our next dimension here has cave generation, and it has that nether style 3-dimensional biome generation. So I play around with that a little bit. It appears that it has worked for 2 biomes I selected. I selected sunflower plains, mountains, and a flower forest. And as you can see, 2 of those are showing up. There's flower forest right here, and sunflower plains over here. But a cursory inspection has so far revealed no mountains. I did mess with the generator settings a little bit. I gave the sunflower plains an altitude of 0, I believe, and the flower forest an altitude of -1. And I'm not sure if that did anything, but so far I'm not encountering any kind of mountains. I gave those an altitude of 1, +1. Thing is, I don't know what most of those generator settings do, because there's a few different settings you can give to biomes in this world generation type, and I'm not sure what any of them do. Like, there's a setting called weirdness. So, 50 points to your Hogwarts house if you can tell me what the heck that's supposed to mean. This is like the entirety of the flower forest in a dimension where I asked for 3 different biomes. It gave me mostly 1, and then like a drop of the second in 1 spot. So I guess we should move on to the next dimension. So this dimension here, given very simple settings, just floating island style generation with vanilla overworld style biome distribution. And for reference, the spawn point in the vanilla overworld in this world is actually in this dark oak forest here. So I suppose what that means is it's just taking the same biomes. I'm assuming what it does, it generates it exactly like normally in the overworld. So we just have normal biome distribution with some floating islands. I haven't actually seen floating islands with multiple biomes on them before, because prior to this snapshot, the only way to get this shape, the only way to get these kinds of floating islands was with the buffet worlds, and those only allowed 1 biome at a time. Whereas this is all the biomes. I think that's about all to see. We should probably go look at the next one. So this final dimension here is just jungle floating islands. There's Jungle Temple over here. Got the loot. That is sad loot. Also, there appear... Oh. It's interesting. There appears to be a bug relating to redstone wire shape in generated structures. Which I suppose has to do with how they've changed redstone wire shape recently. Although, bug isn't showing up here. Interesting. What's in this? Gold, saddle, gold. Boring. Like the worst loot ever. I guess that's about it. Like, again, I'll put the link to the online world JSON generator that I found online. I'll put that down so you can play around with the generator. Maybe you can make something more interesting. Maybe you can figure out how to work that 3D generator. Just don't remember the name of. Hang on, let me check that. It's called multi-noise. Multi-noise is the name of the 3D biome generation settings. So, if somebody can figure out how multi-noise works and get back to me on that, that would be really cool. But thank you. Looking forward to where this is going, to what we're going to be seeing in upcoming snapshots, how the generation has changed. What I'm really hoping is that we can be able to make dimensions that are similar to those in the 20W14 Infinite April Fool's snapshot, with like custom sorts of shapes and block combinations instead of just vanilla biomes. So make our own custom biomes, because those dimensions have their own kinds of biomes in them. And I hope they add a working biome generator UI to the client, the vanilla Minecraft client, so that we can properly make our own dimensions, and maybe even in the future we'll be able to make worlds without any vanilla dimensions at all. So, I mean, I haven't checked, but actually, might be able to do that in this version already. Hang on, let's find that out. So I've set up a JSON file with generator settings that contain no vanilla biomes. So there's no overworld, no nether, no end. There's just not vanilla biomes, dimensions. There's just one dimension that I have created myself. So I am going to import this into the game, and let's see if this works. So it appears to be generating just fine. Hopefully I spawn into the dimension that I created as checkerboard dimension with floating islands. See? Oh? No? What is this? This is... Oh? Or is it? No, this is the overworld. But... Ah, would you look at that? There's no nether or end to begin with, first off. And then we do have, this is the dimension that I created. Probably. I don't know. That just picked out a few different biomes for this. So it appears that no. As of this snapshot, you cannot create a world without the overworld dimension. However, it does appear to be possible to create a world without nether and end. Should probably go check if this world has a nether or end at all. Okay, so moment of truth. Is it going to generate a nether? I'm betting yeah, it is. I'm betting it's not going to have any problems. I'm betting this is just going to be normal and boring. But either that or it'll probably crash otherwise. I don't know. It's probably just gonna generate another. Let's go see. I was right. The game crashed. Yeah, my game crashed.